I'm Sir Tap Tap. Last episode of Monument Valley, we kind of followed Rose's journey after separating from Ida. Looks like now we're going to take a peek at Ida after she split ways. You know, this game is just so damn peaceful. I needed this so much. I was getting a bit annoyed and did a little bit of angry posting on Twitter, and I deleted most of it. Just some dumb political stuff and stuff on my mind. And it's just pretty much gone. Just this game's so peaceful and relaxing. I love this stuff. So I pose the question to you, dear viewer. How do you relax? How do you forget stupid, frustrating stuff? What do you do? Where do you go when you just need that peace? I'm really curious. For me, it does tend to be games. I've been trying to learn to meditate and stuff, and it does seem to help, but I'm so bad at forming habits. I haven't been able to make that habit yet. I can kind of meditate for like 5 minutes, and it does keep you calm and quiet, and it's interesting, but I haven't been able to keep up on it really. But when I really get into a good game, that just gives this kind of zen that I really do appreciate. Anyway, the Lyceum. First steps, not always the easiest. Yeah, that's very much the case. I always thought it was very stark change in topic here, but there's something that always frustrated me when people talk about, oh, the first time you have sex, it's gonna be magical. That's why you have to save it for the most important person ever. It's like, no. The first time you have sex, for those who have not done it yet, it's gonna be clumsy. It's gonna be weird. It might physically hurt. It's gonna be the worst time you ever have sex in your life, probably. Hopefully, honestly. Sorry, that's my oven. I'm heating a pizza. The first time you do anything, you're probably gonna be terrible at it. It's probably gonna suck. Remember the first time you played basketball? It was probably a freaking disaster. It felt like, dribbling a basketball is one of those things, like, the first time you try to do it, it's like, what? How is that possible? I mean, at least for me, I love the fish in the background. I love backgrounds in this game. But yeah, weird topic, largely unrelated to what's going on. But hey, I don't shy away from adult topics and stuff, but jeez, like, the first time you do anything, that included, you're probably gonna screw it up. That's why it's interesting to do first looks at games, because sometimes, you know, you just don't know what you're doing, and it is an interesting, you know, vibe to that first look at games, and sometimes it's the best way to look at a game. Stuff like Undertale and One Shot Off, I think you really do need to show your first playthrough, because I think when the twists and stuff hit, story-wise, it can be very important. For a more gameplay-focused game, like N++ and stuff, showing your first playthrough of that, it can be really clumsy and weird. It's just because it's a skill, and you're not going to just be born with that skill. Nobody. Michael Jordan was not born, you know, being able to shoot three-pointers. And not just because he was a baby. Like, it's a skill, you gotta learn it. He learned it, obviously, and, there we go. I don't know, the title chapter of this really just reminded me of that. I like games with, like, prompts like that. They just make you think about real stuff. Just that kind of, just instills that reflection. This game's surprisingly good at that for a game that's not really... Usually I play games like that are very intentionally trying to evoke that kind of vibe, but I don't really... Oh, here we go. Maybe. No, not quite. This. These first steps are not being the easiest. Okay. I am getting that puzzle game vibe of I've got to be missing something, right? Oh. Oh, that's what I'm missing. I went over to the wrong side too early. That's what I'm missing. Okay, okay. All is clear now. Okay, I see how this is supposed to go. I'm trying to kind of travel across the things. There we go. Oh god, that rain. Love rain. You want me to like your video game? Have at least one rain level. At least one. If you have an open world game, give me an option to make it always raining. I love that in Infamous Second Son. You could, once you beat the game, you could set it, the open world, to be whatever specific weather conditions and whatever. It was mostly for story, or for the photo mode, really. Really love the photo mode in that game, by the way. But it's just neat. I just like being able to do that. Because I just like when it rains. And it's a little bit too uncommon in games. Oops. There we go. Maybe no. No. I see. Maybe. Is this? Oh no! Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay. I like the similarities between the puzzles because it's kind of it. Like I talked about before, but it takes one concept each map, each set of levels, and just builds on it. And then once there's nothing too much more interesting to do with it, it's just done. It doesn't need to be more than that. Now that is a hat. That is a powerful hat. Oh. Hello. How you doing, ancestor? Our shadows grow long as we wait for one worthy to take up our mantle. She's taught you well. There's still more to learn. The path will be hard, but remember, we walked it too. Bye, Spock. Hey. That looks a little familiar, doesn't it? Now, if I was Mario, I could run over that, no problem. There we go, figured. Again, feels like a Zelda puzzle here. Is that a totem? Is that totem? See, that's why whoa! One of the cheapest but most effective things in video games. Just a really big thing the player is already familiar with. Silent Hill 2 hits you with the 9 save squares at once. It's just a really simple but really effective tactic. Did she just take the geometry? Not entirely sure what I'm supposed to take from that. Into the world we go. I kind of wish the achievements weren't popping up, but I like that the achievements pop up after the gameplay. What was it called? Lone Survivor does that really well. The achievements don't get in the way. It's like a spooky game. The vibe is so important. It's so important to not take people out of the horror vibe. And it does it super well because what it does is it gives you the achievements after you save. When you go into the save room, you go to bed, then you get your achievements that you unlocked during the rest of the play. Obviously, this just has achievements for completing the maps, so they're just always after you're done with the level. That works too, but I found that was a really effective way of doing it in Lone Survivor. The Orchard. A transformation is completed. I'm not sure how much longer this is. It's an interesting thing to deal with Let's Playing wise. I love cube plants. Oh, that's neat. This kind of gives me vibes of Manifold Garden. If you like this game, Manifold Garden. Again, I have a live stream of that you can watch on the channel. It has these cube trees. It's a very Escher-esque, very lots of like fractal situations. Perspective matters a lot. It is actually fairly similar to this, and I hadn't really thought about it that way when I was playing it. Very geometrical, very perception is reality. Rather a lot like this, yes. Whoa. This is a little concerning. Whoop. We're fine though. We're fine. Huh. Oh. Wait. Interesting. Can I... No. Well, I can be over here. Does that do anything for me? Ah, it does. There we go. That's an interesting one. I like that with the trees. I thought the trees were just cubes because of the aesthetic, but no, it's for gameplay reasons. Pretty. Something about small spaces like this in games. I always like them. I just like that coziness, I guess. I miss doing Let's Plays like this. I think some games are better for streams, some games are better for Let's Plays. This is definitely a Let's Play game. This is definitely a cozy. Just sit down on your lonesome, do things at your own pace. You know, take your time, 15 minutes at a time, kind of thing. Some games definitely better for live streams. I would say if a game is longer than like 2 or 3 hours, for me, I'm probably gonna have to do a live stream because for one thing, that's just a lot of videos to do in 15-minute bursts. I've waffled back and forth on the issue of should I do just separate videos? Should I make them longer than 15 minutes? And I think ultimately, I think 15 minutes does work best. Because it just lets me record a bunch of stuff at once. Like this has been a complete continuous playthrough up to this point. I believe I probably will just finish this in one go because I'm just having a blast here. This is... Oh. There's a door in the tree. Yeah, I had missed being able to do this. Biggest problem with I've been trying to do stuff like this is if the game is an unknown quantity and I'm like... you don't necessarily know if a game will be great like this. Like Monument Valley, I did know because it's just freaking Monument Valley. But yeah, sometimes I tend to do quick looks at stuff I haven't played before. It's kind of why I wish more indie games would have sequels. Just a great indie game with a sequel. It won't necessarily be as good. I would say this is definitely as good as Monument Valley 1. I don't think an ounce of magic was lost. I think it's better. It's different. I would definitely just do both. I would not say, oh, only play Monument Valley 2. But it's great. Sacred geometry awaits. The Sunken City, Red 13. Pretty music. You know what? I'm sorry, but we're at about the end of the video. We're gonna check this place out next because I have a feeling we would go way over our time. I just wonder though, is that totem? No, that's a new gameplay mechanic. Okay, just a quick peek to whet your appetite. But we're at about 15 minutes, and I'm about to have lunch. So sorry to say, but we're gonna stop here for now. You know what? I'll tease you. I'll tease you just one more room. Just one more room. I love that watery background. Oop! Seems dangerous. Just love that ancient temple line. This has been a very peaceful and relaxing playthrough, and I hope that it has been peaceful and relaxing for you as well. Once again, thanks for watching. Leave a like and a comment if you like the video, so I know what people are enjoying. And again, what brings you your peace? I'm really curious about that. What people do, kind of get that peaceful mind, peaceful headspace. I'm not very good at it, honestly. I'm not very good at getting that. I have pretty bad anxiety, and that's kind of the opposite of my general state of being. But games can help a lot. So, next video, check this area out.